Hello, and welcome to episode 127 of the Yarnivore Podcast. Man, we've been going for a while. Triple digits. Freaky. Apparently I'm turning into Penny. Anywho, it's been 2 weeks. How is everybody? My hair is moist. And, it's not going to get any better. So let's just deal with that. I am Sadie. I will be your hostess with the mostest. I love Beetlejuice this week. I got back from Canada on Friday night. And I'm just getting back into the wonderful world of the interwebs. Canada was a long week. Although I did celebrate being in Canada. Celebrate? I don't know. It was a long week. Lots of stuff went down. But I got a tattoo. It is currently creamed up for right now. I got it Thursday from my tattooist, Andy. And yeah, I love seeing him. He's so much fun. And I got to hang with his dog, and his dog is cool. Let's just face it. Tattoo artists who have dogs are just awesome. So, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I should have a lot to show you. I've finished objects, so let's start there. I can't show you the Georgia on My Mind socks by Leslie Thompson because I finished them and I had made the foot too short and they fit my mother perfectly. So, yeah. They're in Canada with my mother, who is enjoying them profusely. I was clearly on glue. I don't know how, because she's a 7.5 foot and I'm a 9.5 foot. Like, that's some serious screw-uppage. It fit on my foot, but it was a bit tight, and it fit on her foot, and it was a bit loose, and she likes them a little loose, so really, in the grand scheme of things, she actually got 2 pairs of socks, because she also got the stripy pair of socks I knit her, so really, made out like a bandit on that one. We're into Diet Coke now, because it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and I have to get groceries when I'm done. That's right, the life of a podcaster. So, 2 other finished objects. 2. The ends aren't woven in. We will suck this up. They are not blocked. Let us just deal with that. First of all, I finished the Great Divide shawl, which is a Ravelry pattern. I did this out of Soft Like Kittens in the Plump DK base, which has been discontinued in lieu of the Marshmallow DK, which I've been assured by Annette is equally as fabulous. And Madeline Tosh in the Baltic Pashmina. Now, Pashmina is the worsted, and this is a DK, but, I feel it came out perfectly fine. And it is going to be wonderful for the winter. It is not blocked yet, but it is gorgeous. I am totally digging it. So, Great Divide, really quick knit, really easy knit, you memorize the pattern and you're done. Basically, until you hit however long it has to be. So that's pretty cool. And it's so soft and smushy. Like, I would wear it now, but I'm not there yet. I will weave in the ends and block it eventually, but the stack of things to block has become quite profuse, and I am too busy, busy. I have too many things going on to clean off the floor so that I can do it in the room where the pets do not come. Otherwise, there's going to be like a whole glom. Because Beetle likes to lay on wet towels, so blocking things, she likes to lay on the blocked things. The other thing, which I started and finished in Canada, are the Possessed printer mitts, which I believe is by Everything Old. Hold on. I have to get out the iPad to tell you all this properly. Documents. Oh, there we go. Who are you by? Of course I'm at the end. It is by Emma Galati, who is Everything Old by Emma Galati. And they look like this in the pattern. It is a paid for pattern. And I'm only going to show you on the one arm, because the other arm, quite frankly, I would cry if I put on a fingerless mitt right now. Not even going to lie to you. There would be tears. Actually, no. It's getting into the itchy phase of the tattoo, which I just washed and creamed. I like to put on a heavy coating of cream. That way, if I bonk it, I'm okay. After you've had, like, 8 or 9 tattoos, you develop your own little idiosyncrasies on how to take care of them. So, I did this out of Malabrigo, Rios, and I can't remember the colorway, and I didn't bring the tag, so whatever. As you can see, I love this little thing here. You're supposed to block it so that it, like, does the V. I'm relatively indifferent to it doing the V. Again, the ends aren't woven in, so I deal with it, but they are comfy. Now, the pattern did call for a 3.75, and I couldn't find a 3.75 to save my life, so I went with a 3.5 because I looked at all the projects that had been previously done, and they looked a little big to me. And even though I have ginormous hands, I like my mitts to be tight. So I went with the 3.5, and I got exactly what I wanted out of them. Now, when they're not on your hands, they do that. It does say to aggressively block them, so you get the V properly. Seriously, I put them on and they're fine. I take them off and they do this. There is a pair. Gotta weave in the ends on that too. But I will call them done, because you will probably not see them again, because I will wear them now. Well, I'll wear them in a week. A week-ish. So be it. So those are the 3 things I got done. A pair of socks, a pair of mitts, and a shawl. For 2 weeks, that's pretty good. Quite frankly, I did most of it on the plane. And then because I couldn't decide on anything, so I cast on a million things to make up for the fact that I couldn't decide. And you need a pattern at any varying length of difficulty. So I Tangerine Designs bag with the octopuses, sorry, pusses, whatever. The little steampunk octopies with top hats, which is rather perfect, given I had a steampunk wedding. And they've got mustaches on the inside. I'm relatively indifferent to the whole mustache craze, but I do love the octopuses. I finally cast on the Samwise socks from the Lord of the Rings knit-along that we've been doing forever. That's right. We're coming to the end of that particular pattern. I am just casting it on. I suck. But I needed a break from all the insanity, and I needed to finish a few things. And the fact that I got a pair of socks off the needles renewed my strength. And I was up late, and I was going to be working. And the hubby said, "No, don't work. Knit. You haven't knit all day." So he forced me to knit. Boo-hoo, eh? There's the Canadian. I've been in Canada. I'm A-ing you already. So I cast on Samwise. That is the front. That is the back. Where's this is the XOXO cable right here. You can't really see it yet. You can see the little X coming out there. There's an O right here, but you're not going to be able to tell much in this sock color, which I believe is kelp. It is Madeline Tosh sock. And it is, I would say, a gray-brown, which fits for Samwise. I basically, I have 4 skeins of semi-solid, so that aren't on projects. So basically, I was like, it has to be one of these 4. So I cast Sam on. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I gave up on time frames. I did. But remember, if you knit any of the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the socks, and you post them in the group, you will eventually be put into a draw. Finished socks, mind you. And there will be a skein of Knitter's Nightmare to be won when that happens. Because once I'm done Sam, I have Frodo, and then I'm done. And I will have knit the entire book, because I am psychotic. Now, there will be bending. Unfortunately, this episode will have bending, because this is the story of my life. I got my Fat Squirrel bag, the Fat Squirrel Halloween update bag, right before I left. So, of course, I put all my projects in it, because you can fit 3 projects in this bag. That's right, I was just like, screw it, I'm using the same bag for everything except for my Samoa socks. So I threw 3 projects in this bag on my way to Canada, and it worked. The first project was not of my design. The Sams are on US 1s. This is on a US 1 2.25mm needle. I cast on a pair of stripy socks. This is the Necromorph colorway by Knitter's Nightmare. It's the baddie sock, which the hubby caked up. It wasn't caked or anything, but he wanted a pair of the Necromorph socks, so I dyed up a skein, and he's like, well, you're going away, here, I will cake this, and then you will knit them. Some days he knows me just a little too well. So I cast them on, and I started knitting them when I had no mind. And that was good, that worked for me, because I couldn't focus on a pattern for the life of me for a couple of days. Canada was a gong show, much with the family strife. The other thing was, because in my group, you may have noticed, there are a bunch of knit-alongs that have been started, and I figured I should participate in at least one of my knit-alongs, right? Well, aside from the Lord of the Rings one, which I will always participate in, but there's a Halloween sock knit-along, and there's a point system. My mother-in-law is in charge of taking care of all of that. There are prizes, and quite frankly, I wish it wasn't in my group so that I could win them. But so be it. So I cast on a Halloween sock. This is the Witch's Brew by Gnome Acres, and I forget, I think it's the House Gnome. It's the 7525 Superwash Merino nylon. So I caked that up, and I cast on, and seriously, I learned you do not cast on something the night you get a tattoo. You just don't. You're an idiot. Stop. Cease. But I did cast on the Breaking Heart socks. And you do this twisted edge, and then you do ribbing, and then you get into the pattern. So I've done the twisted edge and the ribbing. I've done this before out of Socks That Rock, and it turned out really nice, and I forget who I gifted those to, but they were a gift, and I wanted a pair for myself. So I figured, hey, why not? It's October, it's Halloween time, I just got a bat tattoo, let's just ride this for all it's worth. And casted them on. That's all I've got. Knitting socks is not easy, because if it bangs into the tattoo, I wince. And this is on a US 1 again, 2.25mm needle. US 1s are kind of like my default. Now, I used to knit on bigger ones, but as my gauge has tightened up over the years, I really have had to go down to the 1. I may try a 0, but quite frankly, that scares me. And it's not like I can't knit more socks. Like, I mean, I could have them hold up to the test of time, but I could knit 3 pairs in the time it would take me to knit one on a US 0, so there you have it. The last thing I casted on, and that is a work in progress, is the... I always screw this one up. I really do. Hold on. It's either elk tooth or elk teeth. And I need to know. Elk tooth. It's the elk tooth shawl by Caitlin French. 2 F's. Sorry, I just biffed a project here. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't put it back in the bag. And the elk tooth calls for sport weight. 1 skein of sport weight. So I picked up my handspun. This is the Coniferous Hues by Into the World. And it varies between a heavy fingering and a worsted. I forget why it turned out that way, but some parts are really thin and some parts are really thick. So it goes between a heavy fingering and a worsted. And I cast that on. You only need 200 and some yards, so it's not a huge, it's more of a shawlette than a shawl. So I am almost done getting through the setup rows. It's on a 4.5 millimeter needle. I'm using my Hiya Sharps. It's the first time I'm using Hiya Sharps, and so far I'm rather enjoying it. But that's what I have so far. I like the way the colors are turning out in the handspun. I think it'll be really soft and luscious. It may end up being a Christmas gift. I'm not going to lie to you. At this point, I have to start thinking about what I am going to be giving to other people. So, yeah, this is a free pattern by Caitlin French, the Elk Tooth. There's no picture on the PDF, so I can't exactly show it to you, but you can go look it up. Or, hopefully I'll have a RAV thing for this. I've been really bad about posting show notes and stuff lately because I've been so busy. I'm going to try and get better at that now, though. So, the setup rows, you repeat row 1 and 2 24 times, and I've repeated it 21 times, and then I switch into patterning. So really, it's not a big shawl. I think it's more of a shawlette, and I'm fine with that. It's also going to open up when I block it. But I'm just loving the way the yarn is knitting up here. Really loving it. It's quick, it's easy, it's mindless, and thus far. Once again, free pattern. So I highly recommend it. I will highly recommend any free pattern, and she's adorable. How can you not adore her? She's got great hair. That's right. I adore her for her great hair. There are 4 pages. 4 pages! Like, seriously. And, I like the way it's done. That is how the pattern looks. It's been done up on a graph paper. I've never seen a pattern done that way, so it's kind of nice. I'm rather enjoying that. I got a bing bong. I'm actually waiting for a bing bong. There we go. Thank you. This is Becca, which I will explain in a minute. So for spinning, I've got nothing done. Again, I wasn't here. I didn't take a drop spindle. I didn't do anything. But Spinzilla starts tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure next week I will have a whole chunk to show you because I will be going spinning crazy. I am on Team Knit Girls and I'm going to kick ass. Just saying. I need to liquidate some of the fiber stash, and I am not afraid to do it. Into the miscellaneous, which the Bing Bong makes sense for. First off, Becca, my occasional co-host, Pinfish on Plurk, Bika on Ravelry, will be doing her, what is it, Half-Life? Hold on a sec. Extra Life. Be a Hero for Kids Extra Life fundraising marathon, where she will be playing video games for 25 hours. That happens on November 2nd. You'll be able to check her out. She will post a link on Plurk. I'm sure I can copy the link into a page on the podcast page, so you can go and check her out for 25 hours of playing video games straight. I watched her play last year, but it goes to a good cause. It is for children. The Children's Miracle Network, I believe, according to the thingy. So, November 2nd, Children's Miracle Network. Now, you can donate or support or pledge to Becca at extralife.org. If you so choose, I will put that link. I will make sure that if anything gets done, that one link will be on the Ravelry board and it will be in the podcast notes. Because I think you should go and support her in her quest to game for 25 hours straight. It's been a long time since she's done it. There is a host of wrist fatigue, sheer tiredness, eye strain, etc. that can go through while you're playing for 25 hours. And it all goes to a good cause, which are the children. This is her second year participating. Her goal is $200. I'd like to knock that out of the water. So if you have a buck or two, you should probably donate it. Just saying. I showed you my new tattoo. So, now we're moving into a little bit of a review. If you are not into reviews, you can fast forward for a few minutes. If you're into reviews, my reviews are always much better than normal reviews because I'm kind of off the wall when I review. I was contacted by Cooperative Press, someone at Cooperative Press, to review one of the books that just came out, and I get to gift one to you guys, so there will be, on the Yarnivorous group boards, where you have to be a member to win, a thread for you to win this book. But they sent me 2 books. This week I will be reviewing Hitch, and next week I will be reviewing Cascadia, both of which I'm very entertained in. And Cascadia has a little piece on Caitlin French. But this week I am doing Hitch, which I was excited to get. And it's patterns inspired by Alfred Hitchcock, so if you couldn't guess, I got totally wibbly-wobbly in the knees, because it's Alfred Hitchcock. How can you go wrong? Like Master Hitchcock. It's edited by Stephanie Talent, and it features a lot of designers and a lot of awesome things. There are so many patterns in here. So many. I went through all the patterns. I read all of the little thingies about the designers. There are multiple designers designing this. And so I'm just going to show you a couple of the things that really turned my head and that I want to knit really fast. And I will say, for Alfred Hitchcock, they did go kind of all over the place, which I appreciate. There wasn't a glut of things from Psycho, which would have been like my creme de la creme, right? But you can have too many things of one thing. So that was good. They had some stuff from the Birds. A lot of it was based off of Grace Kelly ensembles, which of course you can't go wrong with. And it's a variety of things. That's the other thing about this book, which made me happy. There's a variety. It's not, well, like, I mean, if I get a sock book, I know I'm going to get socks, right? But if you buy a book based on a theme, you're like, well, am I going to get stuck with a bunch of arm warmers? Unless it's an arm warmer book, I don't want to be stuck with a bunch of arm warmers. That's just the way it goes. It's a theme book. I want books on the theme. I want patterns on the theme. That's what I want. That's what I got. I've got shawls, tams, jackets, socks, hats, mitts, tops, all kinds of stuff in here. Now, I will say that there are only, 2 man patterns? 1 man pattern? I think there's only the one. Yeah, there's 1 man pattern. So, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a man-friendly book. I would have liked to see, like, if they do a number 2, they could do a lot of men things, because there wasn't a lot of man touched upon. That is a very common theme in knitting books, though, so I'm not going to begrudge them that. The introduction was well written. Now, the Constance shawl, which is based off of Spellbound. The other thing is they went all over the place with Hitchcock movies, but I love this shawl. Hold on, I got to turn my setting down. It is too bright. That's what I get for traveling, right? I turned the brightness up. Brightness. Control center? No. Notification. No. Where's my damn brightness? No. Okay, someone out there is yelling at me. Sadie, it's right there. Wallpapers and brightness. It's an actual setting. There we go. You think I'd be pro at that, right? Anywho, the Constant shawl. Which has two colors going throughout it. It's a very pretty shawl. The graph looks nice. There's another little picture of it. I'm going to turn my brightness down a little more. Kill it way down. So that is the Constant shawl. Oh, there we go. And it's got little X's almost in the lace pattern motif. It looks to be top down and then side to side. It's really pretty. I can see myself knitting. I would never knit this, but I think it is good. The Alicia Tamman mitts. I just do not have a tan head. Of course, there's some sweaters. The 3-second kiss sweater, which is was inspired by the Bauhaus tradition, is gorgeous. I probably wouldn't knit it for myself because, let's face it, that much on my shoulders and I'd look like a linebacker. But I like the fact that the bottom hem is done in a contrasting color and it's not ribbed. That is really awesome. Having said that, they do go up quite a bit in sizes. This one goes to a 57.5 inch bust. So for the bigger busted ladies, we do go all the way up to a 4X on some of these, which is really nice. There's gloves and mitts. I'm not knitting any gloves ever. Ever. It's not happening. I like this. It's the cover photo. It's very vintage inspired. The Lena vest coat. I would never knit a vest coat because, let's face it, my butt would stick out. The back detail is, however, adorable. If you are tiny enough to wear this, you definitely should. There's some socks, which I won't show you those ones. I'll show you these ones because I like these. I want to knit these, actually. The Wendy's socks, which are from Dial M for Murder. They're a gorgeous example of a twisted stitch sock. I like the minimal detailing. I like how it goes down the back, but then cuts off for the ribbing of the heel flap. They came out so nicely that I would knit those. The pattern, seriously, I was in Canada and I got this because I could check my emails like every 3 seconds. Well, no. Actually, I think I check them once a day. But I saw these mitts, and this was the reason I had to show you this book. I could give up on the rest of the book, except for the fact that it's Alfred Hitchcock. A lot of the patterns I could go either way, or I could get a one-off, but this sold the book for me, and it's these mittens. Seriously, I am already searching the stash to find them, to find what I need to knit from them. And they are the Stella gloves. I believe this is based off of Rear Window. It comes in a woman's small, medium, and large, so they do size it up for a larger hand, which is nice because I've got meat hooks. It's knit out of a sock yarn, hazel knits in this case. I don't have any hazel knits, but I'm sure I can work with it. It's by Catherine Vaughan, and quite frankly, I just adore these bloody mitts. I love the little button detail. Seriously, I like the fact that the fingers aren't finished. I hate finished finger mitts. I like having a little bit of my finger stick out. So these mitts just made me drool. In fact, I had to turn and be like, "Hey Mom, I need to knit these mitts." And she's like, "Are you starting them right now?" I was like, "I don't have any yarn." I do enjoy the Greenwich Village cardigan, which is based off of Rear Window. It goes up to a 55-inch bust, a 3X. I think that it would look really good on me. Personally, I would probably take it down a bit. It does look a little bit big on the model here under the armpit, but I love the lace detailing. Let's see if I can get that close up. The lace detailing on the sleeve right here, where they mirror the lace from in here. Love that. I love that tiny little bit of detail. And that's out of Blue Moon Fiber Arts Marine Silk Sport. Okay, I wouldn't do it in silk personally, but anything knit in Blue Moon has got my seal of approval, pretty much. Doesn't require a lot of skills. It has a set of required skills here, which include knitting it around, double pointed needles or magic loop, increasing, decreasing, charted lace or written, and picking up stitches and sewing on buttons. Basically anything you'd need to make a very basic sweater with a little bit of lace. So that excites me. I'm not even going to lie to you. The fact that I have to knit it on a 3.5mm needle kind of scares me, but hey, I do enjoy this pattern. I will probably knit that pattern. But quite frankly, it's an Alfred Hitchcock theme. Oh, here's the close-up. There we go. Pardon my, there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, I love that. I love that little lace detail. I love it. I'm not sure what's going on with the bobbly thing. I may omit the bobbly thing. Now, they do have men's hats, which I can appreciate. That one has a lot of cables. So if you're into cables or you want to get more experimental, it's bright white. Like, seriously, there we go. So if you're wanting to get more into experimental cables, this would be a perfect pattern for that. There's a lot of charts. Not even going to lie to you, there's a lot of charts. For all the skinny minis out there, seriously, if I did not have a gut, I would be all about that. I love the stripes, I love the colors, I love the neck, I love the little detailing, and that's not your Gal Friday sweater. Come on. It does go up to a 4X, which is a 60.25 bust. Looks like it's knit out of sock yarn, which kind of scares me, but whatever. That little detail makes all the difference. Now this one, the Francie scarf, again, between the scarf and the mitts, seriously, the scarf and the mitts, that's all I need. The scarf and the mitts, the scarf and the mitts. Have I said the scarf and the mitts? The scarf and the mitts. This scarf, the Francie scarf, OMG. I would buy this pattern if it were for sale on its own. I'm not sure if they're for sale. Triona Murphy designed this, but it's based on Grace Kelly and To Catch a Thief, go figure. Done out of a lace weight. Got a simple pattern, but here's what sold it for me. There is a diagram on how to wear it like Grace Kelly. I'm only giving you 5 seconds of that. You have to buy the pattern. You have to buy the book. You have to buy the pattern. But I'm saying, they tell you how to make it look like that. So you can wear the scarf, and you can wear the gloves, and rock it out and feel like Grace Kelly, even if you're not. Because, quite frankly, I have blue hair. I'm not going to be like Grace Kelly, but I can feel like Grace Kelly. I'll go to Starbucks, I'll sip, I'll put my window down, I'll be like, I am Grace Kelly. But seriously, the Miss Fremont shawl is another shawl I think that would just be good for anybody who likes a good lightweight shawl. 3 colors, simple pattern, one size fits all. It's in blue sky alpaca sport weight. I'm sure you could go down to a fingering if you wanted to make it smaller. Again, Grace Kelly. A lot of the inspiration came from Grace Kelly, which she was in a lot of Alfred Hitchcock. I would have liked to see more of the birds, more of Psycho, and more men's stuff, but that's my own purgatory. The Robbie sweater is the one sweater for men, and it goes up to a 52-inch chest. And it's knit out of a sock weight, but it is adorable. I like the striping details. The man better not be broad of shoulder, though, otherwise, because that will just stripe him wrong. It's by Christina Wall. More power to her. It's from To Catch a Thief, based off of Cary Grant. How can you go wrong? There's a lot of She does have some great tutorials in here on how to sew a zipper in, which I know scares the crap out of most knitters. It scares the crap out of me sometimes. It also shows you how to face the hems properly. I'm not going to show it to you because I think you should buy it to get all the information from it. But seriously, if you've ever contemplated sewing in a zipper, it does walk you through it quite nicely. And was that everything I wanted to show you from here? There's a lot of gorgeous gloves. If you're a glove fanatic, which I am not, you could do that. The San Juan Bautista shawl, which comes from Vertigo. I love this model. She's perfectly Hitchcockian, if Hitchcockian is a word. It kind of reminds me of a Clapotis, however you want to say it. It kind of reminds me of one, but it's a double color, and it swirls. And I like a good swirl. Clearly they pulled in the Vertigo element. It's got a little bit of lace. It's a double color. I really want to make it because I like things that swirl. I'm a sucker for a swirl. I really am. A tam. A 2-color tam. Kind of a slouchy hat. It's a killing beret. Souvenir of a killing beret. And there you go. That one is adorable. We've got some sweaters. If you're really into the vintage sweaters, this is a very vintage-esque book. I highly recommend it. The sizing is beautiful. Like, the Argyle Midge sweater goes up to a 56.75, which is a 3X. And it is just a gorgeous classic pullover sweater. It's something you would need in a good fall day. It's a very versatile book, having the fact that it's, you know, designed for being Hitchcockian. Here's some little lace work with beads. I really like that one as well. That is the 8 pages. No, it's not 8 pages. The Melanie Shawl by Nina Macklin Dayton. And it's based off the Birds, so you gotta know that's one of my favorite. I'm not even gonna lie to you, the Birds is my favorite. There's some stoles. There is knee-high socks, because those are awesome. I love the detail work on them. They look very simple. Like, just everything in this book has been done very well. The pictures are very crisp and clear. You should really go to the project pages to check them out. That one is the Annie pullover. Again, the Birds, and it goes up to a 52-inch bust. I want it, but it's a dolman sleeve, and quite frankly, those kind of worry me. Now, having said that, there are a crap ton of designers going on in here. Glennessie, I love Glennessie's work. She's in here. Rachel Coopy from Coop Knits. Elizabeth Green Musselman. She has the Frankenfingers Fingerless Mitts. Just, there's a host of them. And of course, as with the Cooperative Press stuff, and they give you the yarn information, they give you links. They give you links like there's nobody's business. And I do enjoy that. Like, if you wanted to... They also have their Ravelry names for all of the designers. So you can go Rav them, maybe if you have a question. See, you've got a bunch of links. But if I were to say, click on the Elizabeth Green Musselman, her link takes me directly to her blog. Or I can click on her Rav name and it takes me to her Rav profile. Like so. So really, you've got a lot of options with this. Now, Hitch is retailing for, I believe, $18.95. Let me double check. You'd think I would have written that down. Now, it's a good book. There are a lot of patterns. We are giving one away. There will be a Ravelry thread where you can just go and post which pattern you would like to make from this, or multiple patterns, or what yarn you think would look good in these. It is retailing for $16.95 US on Ravelry. You can go directly to Cooperative Press and buy it as well. I do recommend that. They get more money that way, the designers, and I'm always supporting the independent designers. They have their own Ravelry group, and really, you can't go wrong. 29 patterns for $16.95. I'm not even going to break that down because that's math that I don't want to do. But 29 patterns for $16.95. And I want to knit at least half the book, which is why I feel the need to tell you about it and speak emphatically about it. Let's face it, if I didn't like it, I'd be mocking it. You know that. You've seen me review Knit Scene. If I didn't have a pattern or 3 or 8 that I want to knit out of it, I would probably make fun of it. I like the concept. I think they need to do a book 2 with more men designs. I do believe the socks are unisex, which is nice, but there is only one man sweater, and quite frankly, there should be a Norman Bates sweater. Having said that, they have a bunch of stuff from the Birds, they have a bunch of stuff from Rear Window and Vertigo, and if you're into vintage style in the slightest, you need this book. So you should put your name in to win a copy. Now, next week I'll be doing Cascadia, which I am super excited about because it's based out of BC, and we all know I'm a Canadian. We all know I like supporting my BC brethren. Even though I'm not from BC, I'm from Saskatchewan. BC, gotta love them. If I ever move back to Canada, that's where I'll be living. So if you fast forwarded through, you can come back now. And if you fast forwarded through, you missed the fact that you could actually win a copy of that. So, ha! But, okay. Big news on the Knitter's Nightmare front. There's a little bit of into this shameless self-promotion, as Amy Beth would call it, because I love Amy Beth. Knitter's Nightmare is now going to be carried at Knitter's Palette Yarn in Lakeville, Minnesota. I will be dropping that off at the end of the month prior to going out to Knitting in the Mitten. So if you're in Minnesota and you've been wanting to get a hold of it, or you haven't been able to sneak a skein, it will be there. Which is kind of cool. It's my first wholesale order. I'm really excited, and I hope people really enjoy it. And yeah, I really enjoy the shop. I've been there more than once, so there you have it. In sad news, prior to leaving for Canada, we found out that the orders my husband has received is to go to Diego Garcia. If you don't know where that is, you can Google it. Or I can tell you that it's a tiny little island that isn't even big enough to warrant being on the map in the middle of the Indian Ocean. And he will be there for a week. He will be leaving approximately May. He better not miss our anniversary, although I really have no say in it. Kinda peeved with the Navy. May have insinuated that the detailer guy could stick his Johnson in a light socket. It's a good thing I don't have his phone number. Just saying. And so I definitely retracted from the world for a while to adjust to that. I will be staying in Minnesota during that duration. Then we will be deciding where to move following that once he blah 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 blah. I am not impressed. I will get to spend Christmas alone. That does not make me impressed at all. And I know I married into this, and I know it's something I have to deal with, but hey, I'm not happy. I was like, really? Timing? This sucks. And I'll probably be a bit bitter about it for a little while. So, there you have it. And I know that's just part of being married to an armed forces member, but yeah, U.S. government kind of crapping on each other right now and sending my husband to the middle of the Indian Ocean. Not a happy camper. Not a happy camper. But then again, I'm Canadian. Just give me some maple syrup and I'll truck along. That is about all I've got for this week, and it's been 45 minutes, so really that's more than enough for you to have to deal with me. And the cream is absorbed. So, I will see everybody next week. I hope you have a great week of knitting. Next week, I will be Spinzilla-ing. If you are Spinzilla-ing, I wish you all the luck in the world. I'm Blue Rune on Ravelry. We shoot stars on Plurk. Sadie Rune on Twitter and Instagram. The Knitter's Nightmare group is on Ravelry, as is the Yarnivers group, where you have to be a member to win anything, and we will be doing the Hitch thing. I have no music this week. Hopefully I will next week. I just don't I was listening to the same old. But, go find the link. Go donate to Becca. It's for a good cause. Enter your name in the Hitch thing. Knit socks. And I'll see everybody next week.